Tim Walz got exposed like never before.
Was this a peaceful protest?
It was a criminal act that people were prosecuted for.
So it wasn't a peaceful protest, right?
During a House hearing, Walz found himself in the hot seat as Pete Stauber fired question after question, pushing so hard that Tim eventually started admitting to mistakes from his own record.
Governor, what weapons did you carry in war?
What did you carry in uniform?
I tell you what, Governor, you're barking down the wrong tree.
And today we're covering it all. So if you believe that truth isn't partisan, hit that subscribe button and let's jump right into it.
Governor Walz, thanks for being here today. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I ask you to keep your remarks brief. I got a lot to go through. So, Governor, do you recognize this picture?
I do recognize the picture.
Briefly describe it to us. What is it? What's going on?
These were folks, I believe the people in the picture now are incarcerated in Minnesota.
It's a precinct 3 burning down because of your decision. Was this a peaceful protest? Was this a peaceful protest?
The gentleman standing there?
Was this a peaceful protest?
It was a criminal act that people were prosecuted for.
So it wasn't a peaceful protest, right? As I watched lawlessness devastate Los Angeles this past week, I was reminded of your failure to protect Minnesota from similar riots. Governor Walz, on May 29th of 2020, during your own press conference, you described your response to the riots during the 2020 Summer of Love as, quote, an abject failure. Governor, I couldn't agree with you more.
Tim Walz's lack of swift action during the riots that followed the George Floyd incident is the definition of failed leadership. According to factcheck.org, throughout Minnesota, there was an estimated $500 million in property damage, including more than 1,500 businesses and buildings that were burned. Meanwhile, a Minnesota State Senate report argued if Governor Walz had acted in a decisive manner by activating the National Guard when requested, the riots would have been brought under control much faster. When it was all said and done, Walz and Mayor Frey were playing a blame game, arguing over procedure and timing while sidestepping responsibility. Pete Stauber didn't stop there, though, and he brought up Tim's recent remarks about ICE and its operations. So let's take a look.
You took an oath to due process.
Governor, was there a violent al-Shabaab terrorist who entered our country illegally arrested in Minneapolis last year? Yes, there was. Were there 3 illegal child predators arrested by ICE in St. Paul earlier this year?
I certainly hope so. That's their job.
Yes, there was. Are the officers who arrested the al-Shabaab terrorists or the child predators, are they Nazis or the Gestapo?
The tactics of wearing
They're
masks.
not. Do you believe that any of the violent illegal immigrants I have mentioned have a right to be in this country?
I don't know what their immigration status was.
They're illegal, violent criminals that the ICE took off the streets of Minneapolis.
You did not say, Congressman, what their status
Governor,
was.
last week, law enforcement officers in the state of Minnesota took 900 pounds of meth off the streets. Do you support that?
We certainly do.
Do you know that ICE assisted in that those arrests and investigations? Do you support the assistance of ICE in that enforcement action? Yes or no?
I can't speak to that because we were not included in the briefing.
First of all, you can disagree with ICE and their tactics all you want. What's not acceptable is the name-calling just to score cheap political points. And they've indeed taken real threats off the streets in Minnesota, including a man who tried to join ISIS, in addition to an Iranian national being arrested in St. Paul, who was also a former member of the IRGC with admitted connections to Hezbollah. The problem with Walz is the pattern. Whenever something uncomfortable comes up, he defects. We're seeing it now with the massive fraud scandal unfolding in the state. What's even more ironic is that for someone who openly said the First Amendment wasn't absolute, he seems more than happy to use it when it suits his narrative. But the real takedown started when Stauber brought up accusations against Walz of stolen valor. But before we play that, a quick reminder. Our merch store is live, and if you're looking for comfy clothes with awesome designs, we offer an amazing collection. Plus, every purchase helps us continue bringing you the stories the media tries to bury. So make sure to check it out through the link in the description. Now back to the video.
Governor, what weapons did you carry in war?
Congressman, for 24 years, I carried.
No. What weapons did you carry in war?
What did you carry in uniform?
I tell you what, Governor, you're barking down the wrong tree, okay?
You know I misspoke.
You lied to the Minnesotans. You said that you carried weapons in war. That is stolen valor. You know what? My wife served 24 years in the military.
A little bit of respect for the witness.
She's an Iraq war veteran.
You know what I mean?
She was over in the war zone. That's stolen valor, and I'm so disgusted with you. And so are the people that you served with.
Point of order.
That's stolen valor.
Halt just a minute.
Stolen valor.
I don't know.
You didn't carry weapons in war.
Congressman, my 24 years was public
Will you
many
apologize
years.
for lying?
Objection.
Will you apologize for lying?
Objection.
Hold on, pause.
That's not questioning a witness. That's not questioning a witness.
There are a few things to unpack here. During his run for governor, Walz was pushing an anti-gun message, saying, "We can make sure that those weapons of war that I carried in war are the only place those weapons exist." The problem is, he never served on any front line. After that clip resurfaced last year, the Harris campaign issued a clarification to CNN, claiming Tim misspoke. That's the polite way of saying he got caught. But there's a bigger issue than that line. It has to do with how Walz has described his actual rank over the years, and I'll let Stauber walk us through it.
Good job.
Congressman, you know I
didn't carry weapons in war, yes or no?
Thank you.
You lied. Governor, what rank did you retire at? What rank did you retire at?
Congressman, I served my battalion as the command sergeant major.
That's not the question I asked. What rank did you retire at?
I retired as a master sergeant in
Okay,
EA.
here's your coin that says you retired at a command sergeant major. That's your challenge coin.
It says I wore the rank.
That's right. You didn't retire, did you?
I did retire after 24 years.
Here is a picture of your coin, your challenge coin. I'm disgusted with you. I'm just,
Mr. Chairman, the time is expired.
Congressman, you lie when the truth is better. You called half Trump supporters Nazis and fascists, and you know what? That's why the Minnesota Police and Peace Association did not support you in the last election because you're missing the action. On behalf of the folks from the land of rocks and cows, thank you. Now you're back.
We usually call out lawmakers who shout and talk over witnesses, because those points can be made calmly. That said, Stauber made valid points here. Walz has been in politics far too long, and his name keeps popping up at the center of one controversy after another, with this latest fraud scandal in Minnesota just being the most serious one yet. What makes it worse is the fact that he never owns the fallout. There's always an excuse or someone else to blame. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on the story. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, keep thinking.